Hello everyone, I just want to do a quick update again on what I've been working on. It's been a heck of a weekend. I had to go to Pennsylvania to pick up my girlfriend's kid and bring him back here to Michigan, and it was really bad weather along the way, so I got delayed an extra day, but I've been working on the Imperial Guard Death Corps Creek winter themed tanks and Valkyrie, and I got all the white down. It might be getting a little washed out, but there actually is shading in there, and it goes up to white in the center. And then now I've been adding on, after an oil wash, I've been adding chipping effects. And what I'm going to do next is I've got some burnt umber and burnt sienna, and I'm going to start doing grime and rust streaking effects before I go and varnish the whole thing again. And then I'm going to start, well, maybe not varnish, but going to do that before I start putting on dust and dirt all over it. And then the final thing I'm going to do is add snow on top of all of that. So I might, for the dozer blade, I might mix snow and some pigments together to create snow mixed up with dirt. But this is just the beginning of the weathering for this model. Now, the tracks are going to get a wash of pigments, so they look all dirty and a little bit rusted. Roughly, the other tanks are roughly to the same condition. I mean, it's a little bit different with the Valkyrie. I just have chipping instead of I have light chipping over this model, just because it was easier to do light chipping on the model because it's a flyer. It's A, less likely to get hit because it's a far faster moving target, and B, it's not actually ramming into anything like that dozer blade would be, so I don't have to worry about huge chunks of paint being ripped off. So I went a lot lighter on the chipping on this model. As you can see, I did underline any of the real big chips that I could with pure white so that they stood out a bit. But that's the conditions. And you also see that I put unlike the tanks, there is a camo pattern on the Valkyrie. It's just kind of a dark gray and a light gray that just run in streaks over the model. Try to give it some feeling of movement and a little bit of camo for the skies. I don't know how effective that is. Give me your opinion on that. The client liked it, so I'm sticking with it. Hopefully he likes what else I'm going to do. The Valkyrie is also going to get smoke streaks, probably out of some of these rivets, and definitely out here behind the engines. Other than that, the only other things I plan to do is some OSL. I know a couple of the tanks have lights, and the Lehman Russ is a plasma gun, so that's also going to get the traditional blue OSL. I might make it look really bright though, just because it's I don't want the blue to be too overpowering. It's just going to look like a really big blue mess if I do too much blue to contrast with this white. If I make it really bright, so very little, I start usually with magic blue, then I just mix it with white, and then my last layer is white. If I do just a very thin layer of magic blue, and then cover most of it with the other two layers and have it mostly be white, it shouldn't throw the balance off too much. I'm just slightly concerned about the balance because obviously it's not. Obviously, this is when you already have a really bright model, and the only thing that's really how I'm going to counter the light-dark contrast is actually going to be the weathering. I mean, even a really bright blue against white like this can be considered a really, really stark contrast, and I don't want it. I don't want it to make the front of this model feel too blue. That's what I'm trying to get at. Anyways, I've got a lot of work to do with the oil paints. So, anyways, let me know what you think. As always, I love to hear what you're working on. I know Farron's been working on his Chaos, and I've been excited to watch what he's been doing. I think Warboss Tay's working on some Krieg of his own. I'd love to see what he does with his. I mean, these aren't mine, but I'm always curious to see what other people are doing with their models. Anyways, everyone have a wonderful day. And for those of you in the U.S., I may not see you again before Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving. And for those of you not in the U.S., I just hope you have a wonderful week. Take care.